Doran, whisperer of truth, speaker of facts, believes the 11.0 cinematic may have been leaked. Oh, and he says Zalatash awakens the children of the first flesh. Children of the first flesh, wouldn't that be us? I mean, technically we got the curse of the flesh, right, as humans and dwarves and gnomes. This is interesting. Children of the first flesh, it's the first time I hear that. Let's see what this is all about.
We have a really interesting 11.0 cinematic leak going around that actually makes quite a bit of sense. We have an Iridicron looking figure in the background and a Drogbar orc looking figure in the center. This could be Iridicron awakening the so-called children of the first flesh with a Harbinger, aka Zalatath, that could be coming in the next expansion. It could also be the Dreadlords, as we have determined other similar hints in the new patch. We know,
yeah, if you don't know, there's an entire Dreadlord set that has been data mined for people to wear. So the Dreadlords, you know, they're going to be playing a role. Sire Denathrius has been talked about as being the next leader of the Burning Legion. So we're going to be playing a lot with the Dreadlords.
Is very likely the final patch of Dragonflight. Pre-orders are already here. 10.2 finale will probably happen prior to BlizzCon. So we are already deep in the leak season where these cinematic stills could actually be leaked quite legit.
Is this like this is like a fully rendered cinematic he's talking about. This is not some kind of like half-baked in-game cinematic. Holy shit. Who is that? Could that be a Iridicron? That's a scary looking orc if that's an orc.
After all, this is how we discovered multiple expansions from Shadowlands to Dragonflight. So what is this leak and what does this image represent exactly? If you ever end up losing your wallet, you can find it right through this tracker, as you can connect it with the app with this video's sponsor, Extra, which is an amazing wallet.
It's an interesting image. I wonder where that leaked from.
Cards here, you got cash. Best of all, they got so many awesome designs from premium leather
the button pop out with the cards,
and they also got these super cool key cases that can also be fitted with the tracker as well, so you never end up losing your keys. So make sure to get your own Extra wallet with my link in the description and code Doran, and you can get a huge discount with up to 25% off. Check out Extra.
Ooh, nice.
So realistically, the leak seasons have really changed as opposed to the past, because the AI has advanced so much these past few years, so it is really hard to distinguish. I mean, realistically, you could have an AI generate some art with a prompt and then take a screenshot of the monitor, call it a leak, add some text to it, so of course, it is natural to be wary. However, I gotta say, this leak is actually really interesting when you examine it closely, and honestly, a little bit unexpected. I wouldn't really call it a cheap attempt, and it could actually be
Who could that be? That doesn't look like Galakrond, though. You know, it doesn't look like this guy's made of stone. It looks like he's made of flesh. And who's that in the background? Who wears a red necklace has a... What the hell? I mean, these could be characters that we don't know anything about yet, too.
Actually be real. You may remember that prior to the announcement of Shadowlands, we had leaked the still image of Bolvar from the cinematic.
Yeah, I remember this.
Everyone was calling it fake, how it was some fan creation, and then it turned out to be completely real. Even back in Worlds of Draenor, prior to that Gromash cinematic, we had also leaked the still of Grom Hellscream, and everyone thought he looked really weird because he was a bit different from the orc aesthetic we were used to, and then it turned out to be real as well. Even more interestingly, prior to Dragonfight, we had a Draktyr, and everyone was saying, no way, this is real, they just look way too goofy, this is some fan concept, fan art, and now we have the playable
real boys.
The point is, of course, it is all too easy to create fake leaks, post on a forum and everything, but we should take some of them seriously, as they could turn out to be the real thing. Now, this one is super interesting because it doesn't exactly go with what the popular speculations have been about. If you have been keeping up with the news, the CEO of Blizzard
and the other side of Azeroth and all that shit
completely debunked the idea that pirates are coming, and they even said that an old God team expansion won't be happening either. Their main point was they don't want to tie themselves to one single team, and they want to explore multiple factors. For example, how Dragonflight is about dragons, but we're going into the Emerald Dream, which is a completely new zone, so we could expect multiple things happening at once in 11.0. This specifically...
I talked about this in a previous video on my YouTube channel. I think we're gonna get like some kind of elf theme. I really think we're heading towards some kind of elf theme. We haven't really had an elf theme expansion. We know the Night Elves are getting a new city. They're getting a Meadrasil, right? We've also seen a bunch of assets uploaded that look like they belong to Silvermoon. And Silvermoon needs some love. Silvermoon hasn't had a remake since Cataclysm. You can't even fly in that city yet. So Silvermoon and Amidrosil, right? Two elf races that are getting new cities. Those could be hub cities for the next expansion. And then you have the attachment to the Void with the Void elves as well. And then you have the attachment to the Legion and the promise of potentially Sire Denathrius coming back as the Burning Legion's new leader. And which races are demon hunters? Elves. So you have all these attachments to elves. I feel like we could get some kind of... We had a dragon theme expansion this time. We could get an elf theme expansion. And people love elves. I mean, people can't get enough of them. So I think people would like it. But we'll see.
In regards to the Old Gods, doesn't exactly debunk an Old God expansion. I mean, it means certainly that this is not going to be an Azot or Yogg-Saron expansion, but we could potentially see their appearance in the grand scheme of things, especially if it is related to the Void. They could also say they're looking into a full revamp of Azeroth, especially around the 20th anniversary of World of Warcraft, which is next year, that could signal the return to Kalimdor in the Eastern Kingdoms, and this is where the next expansion could be based. However, what can we decipher from this image? Well, first of all, the most interesting thing is this character in the background.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but to me, this looks almost exactly like Iridikron, just a cinematic, more detailed version. The shape
could be, but the horns don't seem like they're coming off the head. They seem like they're coming off the shoulders.
There, the shoulder pads are there as
well.
The
shoulder pads look pretty accurate. Those look
horns from behind the cape and the hood, which completely matches the aesthetic that we're all familiar with. Now, this is the most legit hint of the next expansion, because at this point it is like 95% confirmed, almost 100% confirmed that 10.2 is going to be the final patch. We have data mined the pre-order rewards for 11.0. We know it will be announced on BlizzCon. 10.2 PTR is now out, and it will almost certainly come out by the end of October. The Dragon book, the lore book, is coming out then as well, so we know that we will get the conclusion prior to the expansion announcement or on BlizzCon itself. In the PTR, we data mined all the bosses, and we know that Farak is going to be the final boss. It is likely that Farak is the end boss of Dragonflight, and 10.2.5 is probably going to be like a filler patch before the next expansion, where we might deal with some loose ends, potentially the rebuilding for
finish out the story
and such. So almost certainly Iridikron and this grand plan is going to be moved right into the next.
Some people have been saying, like, really, they're going to have 10.2 as the final raid, and then that's it? There's no more raiding in the expansion? I don't think so. I mean, 10.2.7 could finish out the story and give us Fated raiding. You guys remember Fated raiding in Shadowlands? That gives you another whole set of raiding content, because then you have like a mount to get and all this other stuff, and the difficulty is raised on all the raids. So I think that's what they're going to do, but I don't see necessarily a 10.3 coming.
And this is why he may be appearing in this potential leaked cinematic. Now, this other guy is the real mystery, really interesting, and there are a lot of implications going on. First association, when you look at him, is an orc, and
yeah, he looks like an orc.
So, I mean, Madsen returned to Blizzard, we know Troll will be a relevant character, but I just don't see how orcs are going to be connected to all this stuff. I mean, unless Iridikron goes to, like, Outland and recruits the remnants of the old horde, but I don't really ever see that happening. It just sounds super ridiculous. What other people have pointed out is that he looks like a Drogbar, and when you actually cross-examine him with a Drogbar appearance, you may be right. The size is there, the tusks are there. It very much looks like a cinematic version of a Drogbar that we had seen. Now, why would we get a Drogbar expansion is a fun question, but an interesting theory is that this could be related to those children of the first flesh that we read in the document about Ashara in Dragonflight. If you may remember, there was a document that essentially revealed this secret plan of how the Void plans to mess with the world soul of Azeroth, and it is said that the Harbinger will awaken the children of the first flesh. It was speculated the Harbinger is Xelatat when this document was out, and we learned that Xelatat is indeed behind Iridikron's plans. We have seen her in the portal. So check this out. Iridikron seems to be observing this Drogbar. He was said to know the deep places beneath the earth. So what if this is Iridikron?
I mean, Iridikron technically is like the Earth version. You know how Deathwing was the Earth Warden for the dragon aspects. Iridikron is the same thing, but he is that for the primal incarnates. So he could be very connected to the Drogbar, considering he is the Earth one. He is the Earth version of the primal incarnates.
That
and the Drogbar, they spend all their time in the Earth.
First flesh. Now, you may be thinking, oh no, please don't awaken some random Drogbar, but we don't actually know what is going on and who these guys even are. I don't think we should particularly fear them because they're some super villain, but because they might know something about the world soul, how to dig into Azeroth. And if they're called the First Flash, it could be someone prior to the Titan arrival. We know Iridicron is all about destroying the Titan Order, so him awakening the children of the First Flash to do their thing would make a lot of sense. Additionally, we know Yogg-Saron was behind the Curse of Flash, so he could somehow fall into this as well. Maybe he used them as a blueprint for his Curse of Flash that we all know about. Now, other things people have associated with him, some said this is Farak, and while I could actually sort of see that due to the head shape, the fiery eyes, this I really don't think is plausible. I mean, it is quite likely we will defeat Farak at the end of this patch, and he doesn't exactly have tusks or resembles an orc in any way, although the appearance is sort of similar. However, the most interesting theory that someone pointed out that could actually be legit, and it could be super interesting. So, people have connected this guy to Dreadlords or the Stoneborn from Revendreth that are related to Denatrius. If you actually examine it, you can see a really big similarity between this kind of leaked image.
You know what? I think he does look like the gargoyles, kind of. He does. This could be some guy bringing back Sire Denathrius or something, or some pawn of Sire Denathrius. I don't know. But yeah, shit, that's the most accurate one I've seen so far. I don't think he looks like a Drogbar as much as he looks like one of the gargoyles.
And the Stoneborn, the servants of the Denathrius. The only major difference is that the Dreadlords don't have tusks, but this could be an artistic freedom to make them more sinister for the CGI. However, Blizzard said they want to keep Denathrius. He was left with a huge cliffhanger back in Shadowlands, and he was apparently even behind the corruption of Sargeras. Lately, we got Dreadlord involvement in the new patch, we got some demons returning to Azeroth, and most interestingly, in 10.2 PTR, we determined the new Dreadlord armor set icons called Armor Dreadlord's Regalia. So think about it, it could be the involvement of the Dreadlords doing their thing with Iridicron and somehow getting involved into this grand scheme of things. This could have all sorts of consequences, from the potential return of Sargeras and the Legion to who even knows what. However, personally, I am believing the Children of the First Flash theory a little bit more, as it sounds more plausible and more related to the direct trail of hints that was left for us in Dragonflight itself. Of course, it is also likely that this could be some random AI prompt, especially the confidential text. I mean, that really reads as suspicious.
It looks like an orc, it does. He does look like an orc, but he looks kind of deformed compared to like what we'd expect. Like, look at how the head is kind of pulled back. And the pointiness of the jaw. I mean, it looks like his jaw comes all the way down to here. If you get rid of this wording here, I don't know. He looks like a deformed orc if he is an orc.
It's suspicious, but we had these really apparent fake leaks in the past that turned out to be completely legit.
An orc that joined the Legion?
Thank you for watching. Check out the information about the new world revamp coming, actually being confirmed by clicking on the screen, and check out my video on Slavic pirates, Vikings, and real world history by clicking on the screen as well. See you in the next one.
Interesting video. I mean, you know, when I clicked on it, I actually thought this is going to be clickbait or something, but I guess there was some sort of leak that I didn't really know about.